OBJ. He is the Ravens' new wide receiver one, and he's helping a very, very hurt core that has been kind of troublesome for Lamar Jackson and their playoff hopes. And they also drafted Zay Flowers, but the focal point here is Odell Beckham Jr. And in today's episode, we're going to, or in today's episode, in today's video, we're going to show a rebuild of Lamar Jackson and OBJ. So we got Mr. OBJ in his Ravens threads. He's rocking number 3. He's going to be wide receiver 1 on this squad. And he's got Nelson Aguilar, Rashad Bateman, Devin Duvernay, and Zay Flowers, the rookie, along with James Proche. So a good receiver core finally for Lamar Jackson to throw to, and a solid running core to say the least. So this should help us out in the long run. This is how the offense looks. This is how the defense looks. I feel like we don't need to change anything. And I think the squad is fine the way it is. So we're going to just go play. We're just going to play through the season and see how we do. First season, we go 8-9. Go 8-9. Very, very interesting how things planned out. I mean, 8-9 isn't too bad. Offense finished 25th in the league. Defense finished about, let's see, 4th. So we had a top-ranked defense. 28 touchdowns, 11 picks for Lamar Jackson. 1,000 yards for J.K. Dobbins. OBJ had 812 yards, so not too bad. Not too bad. Zay Flowers barely got any receptions, but we had a top-ranked defense. Tyus Bowser had 10 sacks. Matabuke had 8.5. Odafe had 2. So very, very interesting to see. But offense obviously needs improvement. But defense, though, not so much. Pro Bowlers, that's what we have to work with. See if any of our guys made it. From the looks at Mark Andrews made it. Our left tackle made it. Kevin Zeitler made it. Okay, good amount of Pro Bowlers so far, to say the least, in the first season. Cornerbacks, we had none. Secondary, no one else either. And also in the special teams, nothing there too. But Super Bowl this year is Chiefs, Niners. They got a rematch yet again. And actually, Niners ended up winning 20-14. Nick Bosa won Super Bowl MVP. Joe Burrow won NFL MVP. Very interesting. Rams players won Offensive and Defense Player of the Year. So very interesting how the season came about. We have lots of things to work on, of course. But I feel like we didn't fire our offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator. I kind of kept them on board to see if we could stick with the process. We have about $82 million to work with now. We're going to try to see if if we could bring back OBJ to a solid contract. But he's probably going to ask for a lot. We have about 15 players ready to negotiate, and we have $91 million. OBJ, he's very interested to re-sign, so that's perfect. If he's interested, let's give him a 4-year deal. We get OBJ back long term. Nelson Aguilar, I'm going to let rock. I'm going to let vibe there, and we're going to re-sign Rocky Sin too. And then we also have Brent Urban. We're going to let go Trayvon Mullen Jr. Maybe we could probably get a better cornerback. Geno Stone, I think, is going to be good to be a backup safety for us, so we're going to pick him up. We're going to re-sign him. Angelo Blackson, backup D-tackle, backup center, and Sam Mustafir should definitely work in our favor to back up Tyler Linderbaum. It's exactly what we need. Tyler Huntley, I like him. He's not going to cost us too much either, so we're going to give him he wants to test free agency. So he's gone. John Simpson is just a guard. Everyone else though could go. So now we have to re-sign or see if we could sign some big names in the free agency. We're gonna need a right end. We don't have one, to say the least. And we can go. Romeo Carr would be nice. We could get Bilal Nichols. He's a star. We could have him developing just on the depth on the squad, which would work out pretty nicely in our favor. And inside linebacker, I think we're pretty set there. Cornerbacks, there's not really much here, so we're gonna let that be for now. And then offensive line, let's see if maybe we can find a guard somewhere like Nite Muti. He'd be a nice. Oh, Kevin Zeitler retired, so if we sign Nite Muti, that'd be perfect. We get him onto the squad to help us out with the pass pro. At right tackle, we have Terrence Steele. Maybe we sign Terrence Steele. Maybe trade away Morgan Moses. We're gonna give Terrence Steele maybe a higher contract just so we could just so we have that position solidified. And then Morgan Moses, we could probably trade for a pick. So we have the 14th pick in the draft right here, and we need a guard. We need a guard big time. Amarius Mims. He'd be a perfect fit for our squad. I think he'd be nice to have. But we also need a D tackle as well from the looks of it. But we're not gonna find much there. So we're gonna go with the left guard, Amarius Mims. He's gonna help us out quite a bit. Definitely hidden dev. We'll take it. He's a big guard, 6'7", 330. I think with the second round pick here, we're gonna use it for a corner because we did lose Trayvon Mullen. So maybe we could find a kind of a corner that can fit our squad, what we're trying to do. So we got a kid named Justin Wally. He's man-to-man corner. He has beat catching, C-man, B-press, D-zone. He doesn't look that good of a corner when it comes to coverage stats, and that's what we need someone for. So we also have Tony Grimes here and Jason Marshall Jr. So Jason Marshall Jr., C-zone, A to C press, C-man coverage, B to D catching. He's not the fastest, though. He's not the fastest. He has deep play rec as well, too. So developing those corners will be a tough part. And we also have Tony Grimes here. Tony Grimes looks not too bad, actually. Does not look bad at all. And his play rec is at about from a C to F range. We could get that up. He can learn from the guys behind Marlon Humphrey and Rocky Sin. So it's not going to be too bad for us. And let's send him to the end of the draft. So Mims is a 74. Cornerback Grimes is a 72. We also got another cornerback in Shaheem Battle who's a 73. We got another guard here too. So we got lots of options here to help us out. So the offensive line will pretty much be set. So this is what the squad looks like year 2 of this fantastic rebuild. Great offensive line. We have great depth all over the place. OBJ's still here, so he's going to have to help us out big time. I think the offense will be flowing pretty nicely. Defense is pretty stacked as well too. I love the front seven. I love what we're doing with our corners. I just love how this squad looks. But can they resort to making the playoffs? Ooh, so we go 11-6, make the playoffs. Browns go 11-6, Steelers go 9-8, and Bengals go 9-8. So a very equal year in the division. But I'll take it. We make the playoffs. We stuck with our coordinators, and we make things happen. So Ravens being back in the playoffs should be very interesting to see. See if any of our guys topped any lists here. No, they did not. But we're gonna take a look at our stats ourselves. Our offense was ranked 13th. Thankfully, we stuck with our guys. Our defense was ranked, let's see, second ranked defense in the league. 31 touchdowns, 11 picks for Lamar. He only got sacked 18 times. Spencer Rattler actually came in and did not too bad himself. Rushing attack, 1,000 yards and 14 touchdowns for J.K. Dobbins. Rashad Bateman had 1,000 yards, and so did Devin Duvernay. And OBJ actually took the backseat in terms of yards. Him and Mark Andrews were both tied for 810 yards, and Zay Flowers had 5 catches for 28 yards, so it's hard for him to get some playing time. But our defense was ranked number 2 in the league. Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith both went off in the inside linebacker position. Tyus Bowser had 11 sacks. Love to see it. And 5 picks from Rocky Sin. So I'm glad we kept Rocky Sin and kept him in that number 2 role, because now we're in the playoffs. We're going to be facing Deshaun Watson and his squad. And let me show you guys the lineup, what the upgrades look like right now with their overalls, and see what they could do. Lamar is at 98. Oh my gosh, look how nice the squad looks right now. Whew. Everybody's flowing, upgraded nicely. It's what we like to see. Defense, same thing. We have just studs all over, and that's just perfect. Exactly what we were looking for. So let's hop into this game against the Browns. So Lamar Jackson, playoff debut with OBJ. Boom. We get hit OBJ, first target. He picks up the first down. We'll take that. Run a read option here. Oh my gosh. Patrick Ricard, who are you blocking? And then our right tackle gets injured in the process. Not a good start. It's a good thing we have depth on the offensive line. I'm going to hit up J.K. Dobbins here. Dump off in the flats. He picks up about 7. So now we're at the 6-yard line. We need a touchdown here. Let's see if Lamar Jackson could either find Mark Andrews or OBJ. Boom. Dime. Oh, pass deflection from Denzel Ward. So we've got the ball back. We're driving right now. We've got, OBJ might be one-on-one here. OBJ, let's see if we can hit you. Oh, yeah. Good catch. He's all the way down to the 3-yard line. We like that. We're going to run a QB draw. They're going to think we're going to pass it. We're going to QB draw this. Oh, I went through the wrong gap. I did that to myself. Oh my gosh, OBJ, touchdown. Lamar to OBJ. We finally get to see the touchdown. Let's go. And now we get to see how we do through simulation. Looks like we're up 17-10. 17-17. The Ravens are driving. Third down. They get it up 24-17. See, Deshaun Watson's going to keep battling himself too. But looks like Lamar Jackson might be clutch, and he does end up scoring. The Browns are trying to score too. They end up scoring as well. Wow, now we go into overtime. Overtime alert, we need a score. They're driving. We're pushing down the field. Do we make it? Oh, looks like we win in overtime. A great game. We end up taking the W to go up 34-31 to move on to the next round. Player stats show Lamar Jackson has 70 completion percentage, 121 passer rating. Both good games from Deshaun Watson and him. J.K. Dobbins had a great rush attack. So did Gus Edwards, and so did Lamar. So great rushing all around for everyone. And their receiver core went sick, but OBJ 5 catches, 50 yards, 1 tutty. Rashad Bateman 4 catches, 87 yards. Devin Duvernay and Mark Andrews did their thing as well. Defense, I don't know if there's any sacks involved, but both teams got 1 sack from their left ends respectfully, and it was a very good game. So now we move on to the next round. Oh, now we're facing Lamar. We're facing Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. This should be interesting. I have my money on us, but this is going to be tough to see. Let's see what happens. We actually ended up winning 35-31, so another tight game, and this time we'll be facing Josh Allen and the Bills. We also have no injuries, which is kind of surprising. So we're playing really well, and to see that Josh Allen here led the league in passing yards, also had 45 touchdowns. He's on another one this season. He's on another one, so it'll be up to our defense to try to get a stop, right? And statistically speaking, what we see from the Bills is that well, obviously Stephon Diggs, right? So 45 touchdowns, 8 picks from Josh Allen. Oh, Tyler Huntley went there. So he's telling the Bills everything that Lamar does. So that's great. And they have Kareem Hunt as well, and A.J. Dillon, and Nyheim Hines, and James Cook. So they have a great running back committee. And Stephon Diggs, 1,600 yards and 10 touchdowns. And they also have Deontay Hardy, who went sick, and Gabe Davis still. So they have just lots of options on their squad. And their defense, Von Miller had 22 sacks, and they also have Gregory Rousseau and Ed Oliver. So great D-line. This is gonna be tough. We're in a huge battle right now. This is such a huge battle right now. But let's see how we performed against the Chiefs. I mean, we ended up winning away game, of course. Lamar Jackson, man, 134 passer, and he threw 4 touchdowns, got picked off once, and got sacked once. He was on a mission. He threw a 94-yard bomb. Mahomes had a good game, but it wasn't enough for some reason. Isaiah Pacheco went sick on us too. So, and I'm surprised that we won. But Devin Duvernay, 6 catches, 148 yards, 2 touchdowns. His longest catch was 99 yards. So he went off on these guys. So I'm fine with that. Shoot, but please go off on these guys. And Odafe got a sack, so it was probably a very important sack that he got. And now we're gonna be facing the Bills. They should be a pretty tough opponent. And I got my money on us. Wow, we got blasted. Honestly, I kind of expected that. Because they have a pretty overpowering squad. Not gonna lie. so I'm not even shocked by that. Falcons, Bills in the Super Bowl, and Lamar Jackson's a Pro Bowler, thank God. And receivers, none of our guys. Mark Andrews a Pro Bowler. Ronnie Stanley's a Pro Bowler. Defensive side of things, Tyus Bowser's a Pro Bowler. Cornerbacks, none of our guys. Safeties, none of our guys. Special teams, Tylan Wallace is a Pro Bowler. So we had a couple Pro Bowlers there. Not too bad. We got blasted though. The Bills literally humiliated us. I cannot lie about that. Like, we only were able to put up 7. Yeah, Josh Allen had 388 passing yards and got sacked once. We had 152 passing yards, threw 1 touchdown, threw 1 pick, and got sacked twice. Rushing attack was non-existent, so the Bills' defense was all over us. Deontay Hardy and Stephon Diggs both just went sick, as expected. And then their D-line obviously came to play as well. But Roquan Smith was trying. I mean, they were trying, but ultimately we got sent. But I'm okay with that because we provided a good season. I think that's a great bounce back considering we went 8-9 the previous season. And I have full faith in the squad. And I think Lamar might be able to bring a Super Bowl home to the Ravens. So I believe in his squad fully. Bills end up winning Super Bowl 37-29, which makes sense because that Bills team was unstoppable. Josh Allen was Super Bowl MVP and NFL MVP. So that all makes sense. That all makes sense. This was Josh Allen's year. This was Josh Allen's year. We have 6 players ready to negotiate while we have only about 22 million. Spencer Rattler, I definitely want to keep around as backup QB. And then we got J.K. Dobbins. He wants to leave. We might have to let him leave. Justin Madubuike, I would love to re-sign you. If you could re-sign, that'd be great. 3-year deal. He's not interested. Okay, Devin Duvernay, you had a pretty good year too. But honestly, we're going to let him walk so Zay Flowers can get his playing time. And then Broderick Washington, I think he's here as a backup. So if we could re-sign you just in case so we could get a DN, that'd be great. We do. We re-sign him. And then Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins. We're going to lose our 2 running backs, part of our running back committee. And Devin Duvernay, I like him so much, but we're just going to let him walk. We're just going to let him walk. And then the rest of the money will be used for draft picks, that kind of thing. I mean, I think we'll have about like 12 million left, I believe. 12 million works in sense of trying to get a D end. Maybe pay like 16 million actually. So we're going to look for a left end, of course. That's who the pick is going to be in the draft, the left end. Or not in the draft, but for free agency. And we've got nothing here. We've got nothing, so we'll probably have to use our draft pick on that player. So, okay, that's fine with me. And then the depth that we have, too, we could probably try to sign Mozzie Smith. Realistically, he wouldn't be a free agent in real life, but we'll sign him. And running backs. Running backs will be a huge thing as well for us to pick up. Jamal Williams is here, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Alexander Madison. I like Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I think if we throw him on the squad, he should be a good fit. And so then we'll use our pick on a D end. I think that works. All right, so where we're at in the draft right now, doesn't look like there's much options for that D end position that we're trying to upgrade with. And left end, they don't really have much going on. Right end, neither. So our best bet maybe would be like drafting someone, but I'm not liking the selections here. I'm not liking the selections, so I'm honestly gonna let we might just let simulation figure the rest of it out. Draft recap. So we ended up getting a safety, a linebacker, D end, bunch of just position fillers pretty much, and okay, looks like we're gonna have a bit of a gap at the left end position or at the D end position in terms of what the squad could do, but I don't think that's going to hurt us too much because we do have a nice crew of D tackles. We have Clyde Edwards-Helaire running back, so we're set there. Receivers are good. Zay Flowers is getting a step up in his position, but we didn't change anything else to the offense. Defense, pretty much like I said, stays the same. Bilal Nichols here, and then Broderick Washington. So D-line will probably take a little bit of a hit, but I think these guys will be just fine, and let's see how they perform. And so we don't end up making the playoffs as we go 8-9. So not a back-to-back playoff season for the Ravens, but we did do damage and was a game away from making it. And Quinn Ewers went sick. Quinn Ewers went sick. Marlon Humphrey had 6 picks, so we led the league with picks, so that's good to see. Offense finished 31st, so our offense regressed. So I feel like it's just hit or miss with the offense. One year we're 13th, the other year we're 30th. But the defense stayed consistent, which I love that. Lamar Jackson, 30 touchdowns, 13 picks. 72 completion percentage, not bad. I mean, our running back committee definitely took a hit with Clyde Edwards-Helaire only having 520 yards. Could have definitely been better. OBJ led the team in receiving yards. Zay Flowers did his thing as well. Very happy about that. 3-4-7 connection. Defense was ranked number 2 again. I'm not surprised. Even though they didn't get that many sacks, it's the Ravens defense. They're always good. But that's how it came out to be. Maybe in real life, they'll have better luck with their offense. Madden Simulation is just so up and down with their offense. But nonetheless, Lamar Jackson, OBJ connection, where I'm so excited to see it in this next season. And hopefully you guys are too.